I don't recognize the song, so if it comes up, I'll be surprised. I've got this right here. No napkin. I use a chip as a napkin. I'll have to wait on the napkin. All right. Coke Zero. Thirsty. He's gonna give me a napkin. Oh, yeah. I'm still training myself after 3 years. Oh, thank you so much. Looks like you got a good chip right there. But you know, on Blue Goose, they might want to watch out for injury. I was walking out because I got to pick up one at Wabi. It's Wabi House over there off of I don't even know, 8th Avenue, I guess you can call it. There it is, like right here. Look at these things. Got me right in the knee, right there, right in the knee. Thing. It's a little low. These are all a little low. It'll get you right in the knee. But I don't have time to I don't know, maybe I get a lawyer and sue them or something. It got me right there in the knee. Not too bad. It just kind of scraped me. Anyway, I gotta go to Wabi, W-A-B-I. And it's basically like one of the #1 sushi places right off of 8th Avenue. Anyway, so the red rabbit ran around the red barn at Wabi. Benkel. Would it be funny if all of a sudden it turned around and I was somebody else? Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. My name is TheCole. I'm here to give you nacho and cheese. Say cheese. And some beans. Oh, the back of my neck. When I got out there today on the 2 hour, I went 2 hours and 26 minutes in hiking. You can tell by my nose right here. I got out there after I got past the 90 minutes because I had been doing 93 minutes, 90 to 93 minutes. It was like, it would say 1 and then it would say 30 or something like that on the timer. They're from Florida. And so that means I was doing like 90 minutes. Now it said 2 and 3, meaning it said 2.36 or whatever. That was 2 hours and like 36 minutes, or I think it came to that, or close to that. No, it was 2 hours and 26 minutes. 2 hours and 26 minutes. I was just shooting for 120 minutes. You know, Matt Penfield. I was shooting for that, and I got to 2 hours and 26 minutes because of how my layout is. And when I go hiking, I do a hiking thing. Man, when I got out there, my shoulders got so sore, and my arms, I got to the point where I could no longer lift my arms. It was 90 degrees. It was like 96 degrees out around noon. And it was very draining. That's what I love about Texas. I love it. I love it. I love the draining heat. I just love it. I love being out in it. The whole sweat, tears, and all that stuff. Okay, now it's taking me the wrong way. I want to show you right here. It's taking me 653 miles in the wrong direction. But don't worry, I caught it. So we're going to find out what's going on. Did it. We're back at the right. So this is WABI House. We'll be there in 3.6 miles. 8 minutes. Arrival time will be 5:46 in the p.m. And we're headed in the right direction now. It was taking me somewhere like Missouri or something. I have no clue, but I just caught it just now. Probably what I can do is go Lancaster and then spin around. I don't know what this is having. Oh, I see what this is doing. I wish they would fix that. Yeah, I know. What I'm probably going to do is... it thinks I'm on the highway. I'm going to take Cherry. And it's going to beep. R2 is going to beep. He's not going to like it. Okay, R2. R2. Here he goes. It's your time, R2. There he goes. And then we're just going to take Macon and then spin all the way around. It's sad because my friend Megan, I'm saying Macon, but I had a friend named Megan. She was a dancer at Texas Wesleyan. She was the one that kind of introduced me to Shakespeare, because we took a Shakespeare class. Ken Stilson taught a Shakespeare class. And Megan and I were partners on what's the FBI looking dude? Look at this right here. Okay. Megan and I were partners on The Tempest. So she played the love interest and I played the love interest. The two lovers in The Tempest. You know their names. So Megan set me down because I had a dorm room. And she said, okay, I need to talk to you about Shakespeare. Okay. And I just was like, I'm not understanding any of this. It was just like Chinese. Now I can read Shakespeare and I'm pretty good at it. But back then I think I was just afraid of Shakespeare. And she's like, okay, so he used words that we no longer use today. That's why it's confusing. We don't use these words anymore. But all these words mean something even today. And I want to show you. So she started telling me these different words that were in the scene and what they meant. And then she would relate it to real words that we use today. Like this actually means love, and this means romance. And this means I want to kiss you, and this, all this kind of stuff. So I think we had a kiss in the scene. Yes, we did. And Megan was very light. She was a titty dancer at Baby Dolls. Probably like an A cup. But she was a ballet dancer. So she would have a stretch, in acting class. And like before we would start a scene, she was very big about being in the body and dance and ballet and all that stuff. She was very beautiful. Beautiful eyes. LcSbanD was her partner for a while, until Alex hooked up with Claire and had a baby with Claire. And that's a whole other story, that's a whole different thing. Claire's in North Carolina now. And Alex was like her kind of sugar daddy guy that watched over her. LcSbanD was very kind of domineering. He was in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet and played one of the Capapults or whatever. The two families. You know their names. So anyway, so she was trying to tell me, this is Shakespeare and blah, blah, blah. And then we had a kiss and everything. It was very kind of childlike. And then we went out and we did the scene. And I think years later, Charles Morrow, that's his name, Charles Morrow. He was a method acting teacher. He had shown up and another person was doing that same Tempest scene. And had his major note in that scene was slow down. Even though they were on an island, they were stranded, and it was like hectic, He still wanted them to slow down and take their time because they were still getting to know each other, even though they were stranded. And it was a beautiful moment of Meg and I when we did the scene. And Ken liked it. It's a scene where he's taking the logs from one part of the island to another. In a way, he's kind of being tortured. And he's moving these logs from one area of the island to another. And she comes up to him and starts talking to him, and he professes his love to her. And that's the scene that we did. And I'll look up the names later because I'll be analyzing this. Well, the reason I'm talking about this is because Megan's dead. Let me talk. Megan's dead. She went to Hawaii for a while. And she never came back. I don't know if she came back from Hawaii, but she never really came back, in her head, she never got back. This is the Trinity right here. But I didn't know how she died. And I investigated it. I was like, well, what happened to Megan? And the answer that I got was she lost her battle with alcoholism. She died. She's no longer around anymore. She was very beautiful. Just, you know, she had her headshots. She was going out to be an actress. And someone said that she had lost her battle with alcoholism and she's no longer around. And I think about it all the time. But I don't have any major information and I don't have her last name. But I know she was on Facebook and they said goodbye to her. And she's no longer breathing. So she didn't make it. You get it? So that happens. That's the reason I'm against alcohol. I don't like it. It's not my friend. It took away someone that was very beautiful and someone that sat down and talked to me about Shakespeare for the first time in my life. Someone that sat down and really talked to me so that I could learn it and that we could perform it before Ken Stilson's class, his Shakespeare class. So because of alcoholism, Megan is now dead. I don't remember her last name. I just know she was a dancer and she was very beautiful. Now, I ask you to pray for Linda Gray, because if she does not quit drinking alcohol, it'll succumb her. Now, she was up to 15 beers a day, and then she told me the other day that she was at 5 beers a day. But I ask you to pray for her so that she will no longer rely on alcohol for anything, and that she will find sobriety, and then she'll know God. Because God will be able to work in her life. God was not able to work in Megan's life because alcohol succumbed her. Alcohol killed her because she became an alcoholic and died. True story. Miranda is the daughter of Prospero. Prospero encourages the romantic relationship between Miranda and Ferdinand, who's who I played. Ferdinand. He was shipwrecked on this island. Now, when Shakespeare wrote it a long time ago, there was rumors of all these ships that have gone shipwrecked. One of them being the one governed by Columbus, way out, going towards America. True story. Shakespeare was writing that around 1597 or in that ballpark, okay? Around that time. Nobody knows the exact time when Tempest was constructed. They probably know when some of it was performed, but around 1597 or so, when Queen Elizabeth was still on her throne. So Miranda and Ferdinand, Megan, who died because of alcoholism, played Miranda. I played Ferdinand. So it makes me think. I will not touch alcohol at all. It's too addictive. It's too much trouble. I will not do any type of drug at all. I'm weary about aspirin or Tylenol. But Megan was succumbed due to alcoholism. This is what I've heard. Or drugs, I don't know. But she died because of it. And she was very beautiful. She was a dancer, and she's no longer alive. I learned about it a few years back. Okay? So we know about the Tempest. We know about Miranda. We know about Ferdinand, okay? We're going to get it perfect for the Catholic and the English majors. We're going to get everything perfect for you. And we know about Miranda. We know about Ferdinand. We know about Prospero, and we know about perfection. So you go for your perfection and see how far you get. God bless you, Miranda. And we all miss you, Megan. All right, Wabi house.
Invited.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Coke Zero. All right, we're headed out. Thing I do say about doing delivery and having your own YouTube show is you're not a complete slave. Okay, you could be at McDonald's right now at the fry kitchen and you're a slave, or you could be at like a pancake house serving pancakes, complete slave. Okay, you're not a complete slave doing this. It's actually honorable, and you're just driving around. You can listen to your own music, you can think, and yeah, some see it as a dead end, but you know what? So is the pancake house. You know, so is slopping pizzas down. There's no guarantee on that one either. But at the very least, I'm following my dream. Because this can take me all the way to California. It could take me to New York, all the way to Paris. If I jump on the cruise ship, or if I jump on the plane to Paris, France, I could get it could happen. Look, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So you're not a complete slave. You do have the right to travel. And yeah, you're going to have to find funding. Teeny, was it Tiny, or I think Teeny Planet talked about getting funding, working at telemarketing rings or doing home telemarketing, or doing delivery and things like that. She talked about this kind of stuff. She doesn't have a channel anymore. She retired, I think, 2 years back, and she started doing interior decorating. But she had a whole channel called Teeny Planet. I used to watch it all the time. It was one of my favorites. She had a van and a dog, and it was a very entertaining channel, but she didn't do it that long, But she had millions of subscribers. It was very pretty and very creative. And then she went right into interior decorating and lost like most of all her subscribers. So it is limited, but you're not a complete slave. That's the Trinity River. As in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And don't forget about it, because he's coming for you. All the way from Alabama. All right, we're gonna find out if it's in this lot. We gotta pass the security checkpoint. It's a LiftMaster. I'm assuming that's the same. It does have this gray right here. Yeah, it's the same one. There's the answer. It just looks kind of odd because there's not an upper or lower level, see? It has this other road going through it. So to me it looks kind of, what in the world is that? But oh well. All right, regardless, it's Wabi, W-A-B-I, sushi roll coming to your doorstep. We'll be there in just a moment. This is called Stonegate. They're villages of the Riverwood. Pretty nice. See if it flashes here. Let's see here. And it does. Ends in 1-3. Now, the rule of thumb. North by northwest. I remember that by Hitchcock gets even. So if it's north or west or northwest, then it's going to be even numbers on the address. If it's south or east or southeast, it's going to be odd because all the oddballs are from Florida, and that's southeast. Savvy? Trunk open. Making sure my sniper was in there. Guilt is very quiet. It does not exist. But guilt is a very quiet monster. It hides in the shadows of people's minds. And people can even have guilt against you. But guilt does not exist. To be guilty is a figment of your imagination. We're all born again Christians, and we are to forgive everyone. No matter what, it doesn't matter what they do to you. You're always to forgive. Don't ever forget that. So guilt is a figment of your imagination, but it hides and it's quiet. And if you think really, really hard, it just vanishes in midair and goes away and stops existing. You're only married when you're married under the authority of Jesus Christ. Other than that, you're not married. Unless you're married under the authority of Jesus Christ, then you are married. But you have to ask Jesus Christ into your heart for marriage. All right, Sushi Axiom, 1.6 miles. We'll be there in 5 minutes. Arrival time will be 6:30 in the PM, which is post-meridium. If you don't know what it means, then look it up. All right, we're kind of sneaking around Chick-fil-A. Actually, yeah, it is Chick-fil-A. Sushi Axiom, A-X-I-O-M, is right there. We're going to go around this way. I was going to go in there and get some Chick-fil-A sauce, but I'll be okay without it right now. I'm watching every calorie. I'm trying to think right now what I've had today, as in what I ate today. I'm kind of going blank. I didn't go by Jason's Deli. I had some crackers and turkey, which probably came to about a couple hundred calories today. There she is. And then trying to think what else I had. Crackers and cheese. Well, it wasn't cheese. It was crackers and turkey. Did I stop somewhere? Oh, yeah, chips. I had some chips. Chips and salsa. That's it. So we're looking at like maybe 400 calories so far. But the more exercise I get, the less calories I want. Sushi Axiom. As in Axiom, Japanese fusion cuisine. All right, we got it. We're on our way. All the way from Tennessee. So you might want to pay attention to this part. I'm having them repack it because of how they packed it.
your receipt, sir.
Thank you. All right, we got it repacked, and this time it's going to work out probably a little bit better. They were able to repack it pretty quick. So we're going to have this other red one right here. There's a reason why people like Ken Stilson. Whoops, you got that hump on your side. There's a reason why Ken Stilson didn't make it. This morning, Patricia Gillespie, she's doing a movie called The Fire Took Her. Maybe Netflix. She has done some Netflix. She was behind Unrest. Well, she got a hold of me this morning. I haven't really talked to her since we've been back at the Carrollton place, which is Mansions at Sunset Ridge, more than 3 years ago, or about at least 3 years ago. I've only messenger on Facebook, but she got a hold of Linda. And she got a hold of me and texted me all this Catholicism stuff. And all I kept saying is love records no records of wrong, which is Corinthians 13:5. And then I just gave her Corinthians over and over and over again to try to settle the argument. She started accusing me of all this stuff. And I know she's a big producer. She's also a director in Netflix. And she's mentioned Cassavetes. That's pretty much why Edmund is named Edmund Tuxedo Cassavetes. It's because I found out about Cassavetes, or I was at least told about Cassavetes from her, but I've heard about Cassavetes before, John Cassavetes. But anyway, on her Facebook, the top part of it, right above profile, okay, all you Facebookers, it's like the cover page. It says, well, it shows Cassavetes editing. But she's being like accusing, you know, making accusations. And I did tell her about the assault with Dustin. Dustin took a silver tray and bashed it on the back of Linda's head a few years back, and I had to take her to the ER in South Lake. So Dustin assaulted her, and it cut the back of her head open. It looked like a worm was coming out of the back of her head. All her skin was pulled up. They had to do 4 or 5 staples in the back of her head because of Dustin, because they were drunk. He took a metal tray, it was a Coca-Cola tray, and smashed it on the back of her head. True as can be. He told me he threw it, and then she told me he smashed it on the back of her head. Probably, maybe even attempted murder or something. But I gotta go here, but Trish is getting all crazy. And she's doing this whole thing about domestic, and The Fire Took Her, which is a documentary. So she's getting kind of method, like too method. They don't know how to pack those. Luckily it didn't spill. All right, we're going to Railhead Smokehouse, 3.2 miles away. We'll be there in 5 minutes. Arrival time 7:03 p.m. post meridian. Right, they're hiring the Railhead Smokehouse barbecue. They have a drive-through. You know what? I tried calling them. I want to check out their drive-through. Father-son night at the Railhead. Hopefully that's father and son night.
We're just gonna say it is. But I'm gonna try the drive-through. I have to come in there. Let's see. Alanis Morissette lookalike. Oh no. It's a Saturday. Yeah. We might be going in instead. But it looks like it's back to back inside too. Everyone's coming to the railhead. Yeah, this is a nightmare kind of thing. Let me park here. We'll go in, and we'll just do it by foot. But yeah, it's a railhead, and it's barbecue. It's smokehouse. Hey, listen, if you're gonna judge on everything that I'm gonna say and memory and all that stuff, go watch some other show, because this is mostly improv. Okay, you're just gonna have to, wing with it. I'm sorry. Very little of it is scripted. All right, we're going into the smokehouse, and we're gonna actually get the order. Grab something real quick.